This one here is the Mumbo Jumbo multi-floor elevator. Actually, the Mumbo multi-floor, I think I call it. This is based off of the other elevator I made not too long ago, which is the Mumbo multi-floor floor-to-floor elevator. So it goes up, a floor at a time, and it goes down a floor at a time. And I wanted to make a multi-floor, and here it is. Based off of Mumbo's carriage from Hermit Craft. I really liked the design, and because it's a Mumbo build, I wanted to make it multi-floor. And here it is. So the design of the elevator is actually pretty compact for what it offers. Your ride up and down, and then your call up and down. But here's your footprint here, and it's actually pretty compact. You've got your instant wire here, which is reversed left and right. If you look here, you've got the bubble column in the back, and over here the bubble column is in the front. So this bubble column is pretty cool because you can send a signal down and up in the same area here. And you can do the same over here. In past elevators, that's how I control the elevator. I'll send a signal down here, and then it'll instantly come up here right next to it. In this elevator, if you want to ride the elevator, you send a signal down this wall by these transmitters, all right, for each floor. And then you send a signal down the wall, it goes across the bottom, and it comes up this bubble column over here to these transmitters. And for the call function, if you were to call the elevator, that's this orange circuit. All the orange in here is the call. So if you were to call the elevator, it would send a signal through here. I'll explain it here in a little bit. It'll send a signal through here, and it would send a signal into this bubble column and up and across. And if you wanted it to go down, if you wanted the elevator to go up from the call, it would travel in this wall. So you remember, so when you want to ride the elevator, when you're at the elevator, you want to send a signal up to lock the elevator, and then the elevator is going to ride it. But if you're going to call it, like for example, the elevator's there now, and this is your basic, elevator rules as you're building Minecraft elevators. So if you want to call it, you have to, when you're up here, you have to send a signal down to the elevator, and then the elevator will then ride up. So if you're up here and you call it and you want to send a signal down, the signal is going to go down this wall here to the elevator, and then it's going to come up. And if you're below the elevator and you want to call it, then what you're going to do, say you want to call it down here. Right now it's on floor 8, and you want to call it to 5. So the signal is going to go up this bubble column, and it's going to send the elevator down. There's a lot of cool circuitry here, and it's actually pretty straightforward as to what goes on here. You've got indicator lights that tell you where the elevator is, and you also have indicator lights on this side which show the travel of the elevator, so you know where it's at. Each floor is identical, except obviously for the first floor and the 12th floor, but the timings are the same. The only difference in each floor is the value in these decorative pots. There's one here. This is for the call function. This is for the riding value, where the elevator goes up or down when you want to ride it. And then this one here is for the receiver, which allows the particular floor to be locked so the elevator can stop at it. And also, we have a bell here, which is kind of cool. Very simple. But yeah, this is it. This is the Mumbo elevator. Let's let's call it down. Let's go down one floor for now. You can just see kind of what goes on here. So if we're going to call it down to 7, a lot goes on there, and it goes down, and there it is. Really cool. So let's say we want to call it down to, well, let's call it down to 1. All right, so all you do is you just hit the call. You're going to see the indicator shut off, and then you're going to see them light up on the way down. And it's coming down now. So, you know, slime block elevators are what they are. I think they're great. And I've got another design after this one, which is a 5x5 round, which I've been wanting to build for quite a while. So I'm working on that one. A little bit tricky, but and then here it is on the way down. There it is. Yeah, so if you want to ride it up, let's take it for a ride actually. Let's go up to, well, we're on 3, so let's go to about 5. Let's go to 5. Hit your note block. Of course, I love the piston sounds. This could also be built in the latest version. So sorry if it's a little loud for you. We're at one more floor here. There it is. Yeah, I'll always love the piston sounds. Yeah, it's the only thing I don't like about the newer versions. You can't control the piston sounds. I wish you could turn them down or up. So if people don't want to hear it, they can turn it down. But anyway, so that's it. That's pretty much the elevator. It's some of my basic concepts here. You've got this here, transmitter with a filter. It does a couple of things. It'll send a signal down here so your elevator can be locked depending on where you want to ride it to. And it'll also send the elevator, put it in travel mode. And this is kind of cool here. So in order to get the elevator to travel up, so the signal has to come through here. And the signal goes through these, fires this block, which fires this redstone, which in turn fires that repeater, fires that redstone, and that redstone will then, and back here there's a repeater. That redstone will fire that repeater, which powers that block, which will send a signal to this rail and then onto the up circuit. So it kind of zigzags around a little bit. But once you understand the dynamics of redstone, you can kind of, this is the only way this could really work. And it's actually, the timing is perfect. To send the elevator down, the signal has to go, let's see here, let's show you this one. Signal's a little different here. In order to send the elevator down, the signal would come through here. It'll go into this block, travel across here, make this loop, and then come here and then send the elevator down. All right, this glass is so this torch will not power anything else. This glass here is so this power does not bud this piston. And let's see what else you have. You have this block here, this observer is in storage at the moment. So when the elevator passes the floor, it will not open the door. And then when you decide to pick a floor, and then what happens is this will raise from here. It'll raise up to here, and then this piston will push it out, opening the door. I did make a couple changes to this carriage so you can do all this stuff. And in my floor-to-floor elevator, I did put these pistons on so it'll stop. Okay, I've got them both upper and lower in here. Down here, as you can see, these redstone blocks will cause this elevator to stop on the way down, and you've got these redstone blocks on the side here, which will cause the elevator to stop on the way up. But the other change I made was I put an observer here, and I also put on the other side, I put the composter here because you don't need much of a signal. So there was just enough room on these in the push limit to add those and make the indicators work as the elevator travels. So that works out pretty well. This one fires, I can get up over here. This one sends a signal through here, which depending on where the elevator's at, that'll differentiate your lock working either up or down. And then the composter sends a signal for the door. It sends a signal through here and pushes this out, which sends a signal through here and causes the doors to open and close. There's a memory circuit here, which works off of the door. And the memory circuit turns on when the elevator reaches that floor, pushes this observer out, and there's also another observer over here. All right, those are for the call function. So it remembers where the elevator's at. So then the signal will be accepted if you're going to call the elevator either up or down. And again, you've got this wall which runs this signal, and you've got this bubble column which controls this signal. Now this circuit back here actually worked out pretty well. This is the call function, and this is a two-directional with this little filter situation I came up with here. And it works like this. So if you're going to call the elevator, let's first of all see where the elevator's at. Okay, here it is. So the elevator is at 5. So say we're going to call the elevator up. All right, so we're going to come up here. We're going to call the elevator up to, how about 10 or 9? Let's call it up to 9. So if we're going to call it up to 9, what we're going to do is we're going to hit this note block. All right, it's going to send a signal through to here. All right, the value of this is going to filter that out. All right, a value of 1 is going to be here. All right, so the 1 is not going to fire the elevator this way. All right, the value of 1 is going to come here, and it's going to come down in here, and this little filter here is going to turn it on. Signal will go through this observer, and then there's a trap door here. So if I put another observer here, it actually fires that piston, and I don't want to do that. So this trap door stops that. Signal goes through here. All right, takes a corner, and the signal comes through here. And then the signal goes across here, into here, and then fires this, sends a signal down the wall. So if the elevator is going to come up, we're actually sending a signal down to the elevator, and then it'll accept it down here because the memory cell says the elevator's here. So signal will come down here, push this piston across, sends a signal through here. All right, into that piston is going to fire this redstone block you can see glowing here. There's a piston there that runs this observer, which sends a signal through here and actually carries a signal at the remainder of this line. All right, and as well, the signal comes through here, and then that closes the door when the elevator goes up. So that's basically all what happens when the elevator is called. Now, if you're going to call it down, if you were to come down here, you're going to see that that target block is in the up position, which is different than above the elevator. Above the elevator, the target block is in a lower position. So what happens is when the target block comes up, it redirects this redstone dust. So the signal does not go through here. The signal actually loops around here and then goes to this bubble column. So when the elevator changes this block position, because of the indicator on the elevator, it'll push this up. This has to be a dot, so this signal that comes up through here does not interfere with that piston. So when this is up, and you're going to say, I'll replace this, but let's take a look here. Now, if this is in the up position, you're going to see that the signal is redirected and it changes. So the signal would go through here and follow this comparator, come through here and go that way. And if this is in the down position, then the signal actually will go through this block and then it'll go in a different direction. So that's what determines the call signal going up and down. It's up or down. It's a pretty cool compact thing here. But anyway, so that's that. I mean, there's more to it, but that's about it for this elevator. It's a very cool build. It's really not that bad. I will do a world download. And, you know, I hope Mumbo gets to see this. I think he inspired a lot of people. And he inspired me to build this. And it's very cool. I tried to keep it to the, you know, the Mumbo energy here. So let's see. Let's call it down here. Yeah, let's go down to 1. And there it comes down rather quickly. You'll see the indicator lights working. It's coming down. I don't know what else to say about it. That's it. A fun build. And there it is. The Mumbo Multivator. Multi-floor elevator. That's what I got. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace out. See you on the next one.